this is your first time joining me here on Appalachian Mountain Riders, after you hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that little bell icon. Otherwise, you may miss out on all the fun shenanigans to follow. So I got the snowmobile all put back together. The Lynx is running pretty good. And since my hillbilly garage is all empty and ready for something to go in, I think it's time we get to something a lot of you guys have been asking about, wondering, where is it? Where is it? You said you were going to start this, but you haven't started it yet. Well, guess what? I think it's time we get started on it. If I don't fall down. And of course, I'm talking about, Project Zippy. The 86 Honda FourTrax 200sx. Let's get her up into the hillbilly garage and we can start raring and tearing on it. You know why I love a Honda? That's why. Whoop. Okay, so she's a little cold. It is the middle of winter after all. Now before you go criticizing my donuts, let me just say, it is hard to do donuts when your front tires are completely bald and all the front end wants to do is push instead of get traction to allow you to whip the rear end around. Camera's crooked! So along with the GoFundMe I have started for my project build for St. Jude's Research Hospital, look for another GoFundMe that's going to fund hearing aids for me after working on this guy. Man, she loud. So I'm going to go over this four-wheeler from top to bottom, which means before I can start fixing it up, we first got to tear it down. And who doesn't like a little demolition? So without further ado, let's get at her. What are the headphones for? Well, this ought to work nicely! Alright, but seriously guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull my plastic off, take the seat off, probably pull all the controls off the handlebars, get those pulled off. Instead of a chainsaw, what I wished I had to do this is a big vat, a PB blaster. I can just let this guy soak in for a good solid day. Because it's hard to tell what some of these bolts are going to be like. As much as this thing has sat outside, I'm probably going to be snapping some off. But we'll see how she goes. There, it's officially separated. Yeah, this seat's pretty much junk. Here's my battery fastener. You do actually have one screw holding the front on. Some of these won't be too bad because I did tear this down a year or so ago with every intention of restoring it then. But me and a bunch of my local Appalachian mountain riders, before they were Appalachian mountain riders, we're going to go for a ride, so I threw her back together so someone that didn't have a four-wheeler could ride it. And then I never got around to working on it, which is a good thing for you guys, because now you get to join in on all the fun. There's that. I wonder if there's one on the other side. Nope. There's that.
Go through.
So I'm definitely gonna have to get all the plastics for this guy. There's no saving these guys. They're in too poor a shape. Been zip tied fast too many times to. One screw is the only thing holding that guy on. Anyway, what I was saying is these guys are just, they're too shot, there's no saving them, so I will be having to get all new plastics for the guy. The bad thing is, I know from looking before, the one little white piece that goes up here over the gas tank is something I wasn't able to find earlier. You know, the front fenders, the back fenders I can get for relatively cheap, but this one little white, I think it was a white trim piece that went on top. I'll show you guys. This little piece that went right here over the gas tank. That's a piece I don't think I've been having any luck in finding any online for sale. So that might be a hurdle I have to overcome come time to replace that guy. I just have to see what I can find. Maybe I'll get lucky and one of you guys will have some parts for this lying around and you'd like to donate for this restore project. Make sure you get a hold of me. Alright, might as well go ahead and pull these fender braces off. This one I would say is the OEM one. It's still in good shape. I'll clean it up, get all this mud off. Nice thing would be to sandblast it, but I don't know of anyone around me that does that. Probably just have to do it the old-fashioned way with a wire wheel and a lot of time and patience. This side, however, yeah, I don't think this is the stock one, the stock OEM one that came with it. This looks like a homemade jobby. It's working. We'll have to see if I can order another one for this side, depending on the price. I don't know. I may just be better off to buy both, but I'd like to use as much of the original stuff as I can, just for nostalgia. Let's see if I get this battery out of here. Oh, I threw it on there. Where's my PV blast? I'm gonna have to invest in a couple more cans of this before we're done, I think.
Daddy!
Victoria, watch the camera, bud.
What is this in? What is this in, Daddy?
I'm working on the old Honda.
Let's get out of here, Torrin!
You guys didn't know you were gonna get serenaded as I work, did you? Ah, there she comes. One of the reasons why I like Honda so much is they really were at the forefront of the off-road industry back in the later 80s. You know, it wasn't for them, their ATC 3-wheelers, these early FourTrax 4-wheelers, you know, they were the pioneers back in the day. And it's really a shame that they had to go through all the lawsuits and stuff that they had to go through with them early 3-wheelers. It seems like ever since then they've kind of been back of the pack, taking a more conservative approach to things. And just look at the pioneers. They're great machines, but the Honda fans have been waiting for years and years now for them to finally step up. And enter the sport side-by-side market. Hopefully the rumored Talon will be everything that we've been waiting for from Honda. But then again, with the conservative side they tend to take with their machines, I know it has a lot of us Honda fans a little bit nervous that it's just going to fall short of what Can-Am, Polaris, Arctic Cat are putting out. I guess we'll find out soon. Rumor is right now this year is when Honda's going to reveal it. Not necessarily saying it's going to be out this year. I guess we shall see. I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date as best as I can once I find stuff out. Hopefully now my channel's growing, I can get on Honda's good graces and maybe get a little inside scoop on things here and there. If you guys are able to help me out on that by emailing Honda, telling them about my channel and how much and how well I've been representing Honda on my channel with their Pioneers, then who knows? I might get an early look at one for testing for you guys. Alright, let's see what this side's gonna do. That one came easy. Alright, I'm gonna turn the camera off and put a little Loctite or something in there to make it look harder. That was too easy. Probably just doomed myself by saying that too. Alright, let's move up here to the handlebars. Air intake. So in case you guys wondering, this is actually designed to draw air back in from near the gas tank, and it sucks it in and works its way around and then up through. So it's actually a pretty good design that would keep most of the dirt would collect in here on the bottom and not make its way up in there. So hats off to you, Honda. And this we should be able to reuse no problem once we clean it up a little bit. Probably one of the worst aspects to a restore project on an old buggy like this is the wiring. You know, however many owners throughout the years butchering it, adding things, taking things off. I mean, that is what a lot of most of your problems come into, is trying to figure out all this old wiring. And here's a little tip for when undoing the wiring. Since most of us nowadays carry around smartphones, before I unhooked any of the wiring, I took pictures on my phone. That way, come time to hook everything back up, I have a reference to look at. And then what I did is I unhooked them, is the groups that were together, I kept together by just wrapping them in electrical tape. This set was plugged into this set into this set, and in this one I didn't worry about it because I already had these other two marked. But keeping the group of wires that are connected together in the groups like that is going to help you come time to put everything back together. Now if you wanted to, you could use masking tape and, you know, label these Group A, Group A, Group B, Group B to help you even farther. But there's a little tip for you guys. This guy here is pretty much junk. That's all one piece too. It's not that I can't just replace the reservoir, which is really all it needs. I gotta replace the whole stinking thing. And I'll show you why here in a minute. And the reason why I gotta replace the whole thing is a little clear viewport there where you can see if much fluid you're in has been all busted out and broke. And I had it fixed there for a while. I put a piece of tape over it and some epoxy resin, and it held for a couple months, and it's all one piece too, so the handle and everything, it's got to be replaced. This guy's still completely fine. It works good. At least the kill switch of it works, so we'll save it and reuse it. Let's say we get these handlebars off. I'd like to find maybe a slightly wider set of handlebars, maybe like a more modern four-wheeler handlebars to put back on this guy. The trick's probably going to be finding one that I'll be able to maintain the stock clamp, and I'll have to change all the steering components. Voila! Yeah, these guys are a little tweaked. So besides eBay, which I'm sure is going to be one of my biggest friends here in this project, if you know any other websites that would be a good place for me to find parts for this guy, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Now I think the next thing you got to do is get this fuel tank off, which of course, I still have quite a bit of fuel in there. Not a whole lot, but enough to make a mess if I'm not careful. Now the shut-off works, I'm not losing fuel. So here's the question now, guys. what in the world is it going to look like inside our airbox. Dun dun dun! Oh, look at that. See, I knew it was going to be late because I replaced that, only a year or so ago. So here's a view for you guys. There's the old 175cc, I believe it is. If not, you guys can correct me on that. Believe it or not, too, underneath this dirt, that paint's still in really good shape. That's the original factory paint, and she's still got some shine to her. I'm kind of getting excited here. That means even this down here, look how good a shape the paint is. I get that dirt off of there. So that's good news for me. That means she might not have to be completely stripped down to bare metal and repainted. She probably just needs a good pressure washing here for most of the frame. But we got a pretty good start here to Project Zippy, I believe. And yes, I do realize on the last video I called it Project Skippy, but that's just because in the book I'm reading there's a character named Skippy in it, and Skippy, Zippy, you can see how that goes. But anyway, we got a good start here to the project. I think the next step's going to be to go ahead and tear off the suspension, get the exhaust off. Hopefully then we'll be ready to pull the motor, tear it down, and take a look at that. As you guys can see down here, that's where it was sitting originally. It's our oil that's actually leaking out there somewhere. So I do know there is something going on there where there's just a worn out gasket, which I'm hoping that's all it is. It's going to need to be cleaned up and replaced. And of course, if you follow me on Facebook, you know, as far as tires are, that I'm hoping to be able to find some 12-inch rims that's going to fit this, that I can actually put the 24-inch tires that came stock on my Pioneer 500 onto this guy. I think that'll look pretty good. I'll probably have to find some spacers from the front to build that out a little bit. And I am toying around with the idea of maybe fabbing up or finding some longer front A-arms here that I can put in here and actually widen the suspension out a little bit. That's going to take a little bit of research. If you guys have any good places for me to go, make sure you let me know in the comments below. These front shocks are definitely going to need replaced. And the back shock here, I'm sure it's probably pretty much done. Although it might not be too bad. It still at least has some spring to it yet. Maybe I'll hit my contacts up at Walker Evans and see if they might be able to hook me up with something that would work on this guy. No, admittedly, that might be a little bit overkill. Nah, it's never overkill. But we'll see how she goes. Until next time, guys, keep on riding.